Hey, I'm your host, Kevin C. Bozeman, here with Relationship Avenues. And I hope everybody had a really great 4th of July weekend. It's Monday. It's time to get back at some new plans, some new directions, some new strategies, and just enjoy life and get ready to level up and put yourself in position to have success as you grow and go and effectively partner with people. And so, we started the Unbreakable podcast that's mainly designed for former athletes, parents of athletes, um, people that are in athletics. So, and it doesn't matter what sport it is. And you don't necessarily have to be involved in that. But sometimes as we follow athletes, we tend to, look up to them and want to play the sport or be a part or maybe have some of the accolades that they have, not knowing the work that's required to put into it. And so today we're going to focus on the U for Unbreakable. And basically, that is just the ability to remain mentally tough and strong and focused and confident in all situations. Look, that is a skill set that needs to be developed. That is a skill set that needs to be worked on. And it is not something that happens overnight. It's a process like cooking anything. It takes time, it takes ingredients, and it takes preparation. And so I'm just happy to be here on this Monday, bringing you some Monday morning dose of some strategies and tools and just conversations. But before I go on, I got a friend, a business partner, a brother partnership that I was able to develop and create. My guy Nate Stahl is in the house. He's sitting here in the studio with me, and it was just always great to have him. He flew down from Michigan, and he's down here in Orlando, Florida. And look, we went out to breakfast this morning, and he came back by the set so I could do the podcast. And then we're actually going to focus on some partnerships, some development of some processes. And so, a lot of times as athletes, a lot of times as people in general, we don't have partners that we can, or we don't know how to develop that type of a partnership that you can work together with somebody in order to make some progress or prosper or work on your goals or part of your vision. And that's really important. A lot of times when we move forward in life, we think our job or our title makes us, or our income determines who we are. And when those things disappear, then we feel bad or we feel broken. And being unbreakable is not about not getting knocked down, but it's knowing how to get back up and still be confident. It's about losing a job or getting fired and knowing that you're going to be fine because there's always greater things out there. It's about getting injured on a sports team and knowing that identity, that accolades of the crowd cheering, the lights, camera, action, the favor that you had, when that all goes away, that didn't determine who you are. That just determined what you did. And so there's some principles and some things that we should all be focusing on as we go through life. And one of the things we should focus on is pressure really reveals what we've been trained on. And you can always tell that whenever a person gets under pressure, how they respond, that will tell you what's went in and what their training is. So if you are the type of person who says, uh, I'm in a relationship, whether it's a business partnership, whether it's a romantic relationship, I don't like this pressure, so I'm just going to walk away because I can do something better. Then you're probably used to walking away from things. I'm not saying that you can't walk away from a relationship, but sometimes having the right tools in order to make that relationship grow make that partnership grow. That comes from learning how to overcome conflict. That it's about communication, and it's really about understanding how you're wired and designed to deal with pressure. Some people, they're not very good with pressure because they're all about being in harmony and peace. Some people like to apply pressure and they like to apply conflict because they know that that cleans up a situation. You can't ignore things that's around. So they like to bring all the ugliness to the front. They don't mean anything by it. Maybe they could do it a little different way, but it's their intent to make things really be able to work out for everybody. And so you want to be able to work on those type of mindsets that are going to help you to be confident no matter what the situation is. And pressure and mindset isn't just like this random thing. It really reveals what you've been prepared for. And a buddy of mine, we were talking the other day. He was a Rose Bowl quarterback, and had opportunity to play a little pro ball, and we talked about when you in the weight room and you're bench pressing. Uh, Sometimes you can bench press and you got 10 reps and you on number 8 and it's getting tough. Sometimes you need a spotter. Sometimes that spotter will put 2 fingers on it, the bar, to help you up. Sometimes that spotter will put 1 finger on a bar to help you up. And sometimes that spotter will take both hands and have to help you get through those last reps. And that's really what effective partnership is about. It's really about spotting each other and helping each other complete some final tasks that we can't really do by ourselves. It's not that we feel bad that we can't do 10 by ourselves, but being unbreakable is about training to use your resources. How do you effectively use resources? And so you just want to be able to make sure that you watch what you train for and then get into right training regimens. All great people have trainers and mentors. I have 3 coaches. And I'm going to ask you a question. How many coaches do you have? What do you train for? What type of information are you taking in order to be mentally tough about some things or becoming unbreakable? Also, confidence comes from your identity, not the results you get out of things. You may have started some businesses and they may not have worked. You may have had a career ending injury. I did when I played college ball, Big Ten, go green. And I crushed my foot. I had a 1 percentile injury. Hey, I was done. And I was happy and fortunate enough that my parents and my dad had taught me how to work. I had landscaping contracts when I was 10 years old. I knew how to have relationships. I knew how to get clients. I knew how to hustle. I knew how to make money. And so that career ending injury, um, I still had other things to do, but it was a mental change. And it was actually a mental shock because, like a lot of athletes, we want to go pro. And when those things disappear, you have a choice. What am I made of? Do I know what my gifts? Do I know what my talents are? Do I know what my strengths are? What else am I designed to do in life? And so, if you have a child that's playing sports or you playing sports, find out what your talents are, what you're designed for, so that you can take that money that you make or take those experiences and build who you are, because those results doesn't determine who you are, and that's not who you are. Divorces, failed relationships, that does not determine who you are. Who you are is who God really designed you to be. It's the gifts and talents that he put in you. You better figure out what those are, get some coaching, get some consulting so that you can become unbreakable. And then kind of the third voice becomes your inner voice is really louder than the crowd's voice. A lot of times we are our own worst critics. We beat ourselves up for things we don't do, things we should have known, things we saw coming, but totally ignored it. And a lot of times the crowd voice will say, hey, well, maybe you shouldn't do that. Or, hey, maybe you should do this over here. But your voice, your inner voice can sometimes be so strong that it really overpowers the wisdom or the voices that you really should be listening to. And that's usually a part of the pride. And usually when you operate in pride, shortly after that is going to come a fall. But it's what you do after the fall. It's understanding again what you're wired to do. And once you can figure that part out, you can pretty much stay confident in all situations because you know what you're designed to do. And you just keep readjusting your plan A. You don't get a plan B. You don't have a plan A and work a plan B. You work and make 100% commitment to plan A. And if plan A don't work out, you get you a new plan A. But you always give 100% to the things that you do and how you put things together. And then I just think if you were to measure your self-talk and your self-talk was a scoreboard, what would the scoreboard say? Would it say you're not good enough? Would it say, I should have did this, I should have did that, I could have did this, I could have did that? What's your scoreboard saying? What is your self-talk saying to you? It's the ability to know what to say, how to say it, and constantly reposition yourself in order to be unbreakable, in order to be unshakable and have that mindset. You really have to change your words that come out. But again, you have to look at what you train. Look at what you listen to. Look at what you watch on the television. And sometimes when we don't surround ourselves by the right things and we put the wrong things in us, that's what comes out and we don't get the desired results that we're really looking for, that we're really looking to have. And so that's our, short time with you today for Unbreakable. And just understand that mental ability to remain tough, to be strong, and to be confident in all things that you do, sometimes is bigger than you. You're going to have to plug into a different source. And for some people, I don't know if they know what that source is. For me, it's being plugged into the things of God and knowing how I'm wired and knowing what He's designed me to do. And that causes me to, no matter what happens, is to be unshakable because I know God's got my back. And then I get the opportunity to be with my partners, relationships I've developed, and collaborate. We work together. We all know our strengths, and we're able to do amazing things. And that's a great feeling because we know we can always produce. And if something doesn't work out, guess what? We on to the new plan A. And so that'll be my time for the day. Thank you for joining. And I'll be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. with the N in Unbreakable. Everybody take care. Stay safe out there. Peace.